Let's look at multiplying and dividing rational expressions. A nice big expression here. My first goal is going to be to simplify. I'll need to do some work on the side here. So let's start with n squared minus 7n plus 12. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 12 and add to negative 7. Well, I know both numbers are going to need to be negative because this is a positive multiplier, which means it could be two pluses or two minuses, but since it has to add to a negative, I know it's two negatives. And I can see the numbers are going to be negative 3 and negative 4. So I'm going to get n minus 3, n minus 4. I'll put that on top here. 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4. All over, I've got to do another factoring. N squared minus n minus 6. What multiplies to negative 6 adds to negative 1. Since it multiplies to a negative, it's got to be a plus and a minus. And since it adds to negative 1, I see the numbers are going to be 2 times negative 3. That multiplies to negative 6 and adds to negative 1. So I'm going to get n plus 2 times n minus 3. N plus 2 times n minus 3. Divided by 5 times n minus 4. And I'm lucky on the bottom on this fraction, n squared minus 4 is a difference of squares. I know it's just going to be n minus 4 times n plus 4. Okay. I want to keep going, but before I do, I need to save my restrictions. I need to make a note of what n can't be. Looking at all my denominators, I see from this first one, n can't be negative 2. And the second one here, n can't be positive 3. And this second fraction is 2 more. N can't be positive 4, and n can't be negative 4. And I save those restrictions because on my next line, I'm going to start canceling out. N minus 3 divides nicely from n minus 3. They cancel out, and I just have 2 times n minus 4 over n plus 2. And with this division, if you remember, dividing by any fraction is the same as multiplying by its flip. But before I do that, I notice I got another nice cancellation. An n minus 4 and an n minus 4, they cancel. And I get 5, this time on the bottom. And on the top, n plus 4. So this was 5 over n plus 4. And when it was dividing, I flipped it, so now it's times n plus 4 is on the top, 5 is on the bottom. And I check to see if I have any other factors in common, because I'm multiplying now, I could cross out. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of great crossouts going on. So I can leave my answer in the form 2 n minus 4 n plus 4 over 5 n plus 2. One last thing, I need to check for any other restrictions. When I flip the fraction, there might have been new restrictions that were introduced. Luckily for me, I'm checking back through my question. I don't see any new restrictions. When I made this divide a flipped times fraction, I had to make sure I didn't flip a new restriction onto the bottom. I didn't. The only restriction left was one I already recorded. So, now that I'm done, state my restrictions. And I'll do them in numeric order from smallest to biggest. N cannot be negative 4, negative 2, 3, or 4.